Yo, yo, yo. Let's just start this. No need to wait around. I know I scheduled the stream to start in 15 minutes, but let's just run it. Out here in Amish. Smoking big doinks in Amish. Whoops. One sec. Gotta send a text, y'all. Then we'll start. Looks like this is what we want. Oops. Sorry, y'all. One sec. Whoops. Using the people's iPad to text, not the people's girlfriend. My girlfriend. Let's go. Was wondering when these would be streamed on YouTube. I got you. Yep, the Eddie Lagersmith Gaming YouTube. So I thought I was streaming it on YouTube the whole time, and something got all messed up. There was like an issue with the connection between StreamYard and the YouTube channel, my gaming YouTube channel. So, gosh, look at these graphics, man. Look at these friggin' graphics. Technology's incredible, bro. I don't get how people, like, I agree that there needs to be limits on, like, gaming every day, you know? Like, more than 3 hours of gaming a day is too much, honestly. In a lot of cases, unless you've just been working really hard lately and you need a break. So, like, I support China's limits on online gaming. But the communists who say that we should just abolish gaming so everyone can just read and, you know, be educated, disciplined communists 100% of the day, you know, I think that we should be disciplined, well-read communists. But we also need to relax, man. And video games are just an art form. They're so fun. Like, look at this, bro. This is one of the best scenes in the game. I'll shut the hell up.
I always thought that this would be easier somehow.
Let me know how audio is.
I thought that everyone would help me, with all my friends together beside me. I've been trying so hard.
Oops, let me get rid of that. Shoo, I say.
Maybe you're trying too hard. They told me. Everything.
Everything?
Everything?
Well, so then, you know.
I know you gonna die.
I'm sorry.
You gonna die.
It's just, you know, all those things I said.
Look at these guys just standing
Let's
fully
go get
clothed in a
Sin.
lake.
Or about Xanarkand. I didn't know what would happen to you, Yuna. I guess... I hope it didn't make you sad. Forgive me.
I wasn't sad. I was happy.
What if he just tossed her in the water? Came up underneath her.
Yuna. Just don't do it.
The pilgrimage?
Yeah. That's right. Forget all about Sin. About being a summoner. Forget all of that. you know, live a normal life. Come on now, Yuna, what do you say?
Maybe I will.
Huh?
Wouldn't everyone be surprised?
Yeah. Except Riku. She'd be with you. Lulu and Waka wouldn't hold out long.
Kamari would say yes, too, I know. But Sir Orin...
I'll make him understand, Yuna. It's the least I can do for you.
No, I should tell him. He deserves it.
I feel like I'm not really doing anything right now. I'm just letting the cutscene play. Like, I'm getting like free streaming time right now without even having to say anything.
What'll I do?
Full motion video,
if
baby.
I give up my pilgrimage.
I had to download a plugin for these to even work on
Hey.
stream.
Xanarkin.
Thanks, Il.
Let's go to Xanarkin. Not the one in Spira, the one I'm from.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we can all fly there. Everyone can go. Then we'll have a big party at my place.
And then we could see Blitzball.
That's right.
Your Xanarkand Abes would play?
I gotta learn how to play
We could all
Blitzball.
watch you play.
I
in
want
the
to do it
stadium
at
all
some
lit up
point.
night.
My cousin was
Cheer
telling me
and
this
cheer
week he
till
was
I
really good
couldn't
at it.
cheer anymore.
Yeah, right on.
Well, what about after the game?
We'd go out and have fun.
In the middle of the night?
Party!
No problem. Xanarkin never sleeps.
Xanarkand is Las Vegas. Yeah, I'm also on Twitch, Il. And I'm actually on my personal
Let's go
Twitter
to the
account,
sea.
too.
Before
Eddie
the
Liger.
sunrise.
See how that stream's doing.
The city lights go out one by one. The stars fade. Then the horizon glows, almost like it's on fire.
Looks like it's doing good.
It's kind of rose-colored, right? First in the sea.
Got one viewer.
Then it spreads to the sky.
What up, Twitter
then
watchers?
to the whole city. It gets brighter and brighter till everything glows. It's really pretty. I know you'd like it.
I'd like to see it. Someday.
Well, you can, Yuna. We can both go.
Look at that water animation. She crying. Boo-hoo.
I can't.
I'm gonna type to you, Il, so I'm not interrupting the cutscene with my words.
I just can't. I can't go.
Look at those graphics, bro. Goodness.
Yuna.
Great googly moogly. Huh? Sorry. Daddy? I can't stop myself. Should actually post this stream on Discord. I told y'all it's one of the best scenes in the game. Is this not nuts? They're finally together, like we knew they would be. Whoops. Not what I meant to do. No. No. I don't want to open Discord on this monitor. I want it on the other one. Just wait till this is over, I guess. Do you like JRPGs? Love them. I can post on Discord. Please do, Ill. That would be very helpful. Because Discord is being annoying for me right now. Dang it. No, it just popped up. Get out of here, Discord. This is our best cutscene of the game.
I'll continue. I must. If I give up now, I could do anything I wanted to. And yet,
Yeah, it's kind of messed up. They don't let the
even if I was with you,
summoners like have relationships. Like, who makes all
never
these
forget.
rules? The Jedi can't have relationships. Catholic priests, the summoners, who are probably an allegory for
I'll go
Catholic
with you.
priests or a symbol.
What?
I'm your guardian.
Hell yeah, blueberry onions. Of course.
Unless I'm fired.
Stay with me until the end, please.
Not until the end. Always.
I was out there again today. Be out there with them again tomorrow if they're there. Those workers. Manager was an
Maybe
asshole. We caught him being an
should head back
asshole
to
in the
camp
act
first.
too. They freaking love my TikToks.
Roger.
Like, calling them out, dude. The owner's coming today. Yeah, I went and stood in solidarity with. It's actually like literally me and my friend's favorite local breakfast place. The manager, the new owner / manager, got caught abusing the workers. So they would just stage the walkout. They're not union or nothing, but they staged the walkout and said this guy's got to go. He's a new manager. He's only been there for 8 months. So now the like big shot owner of the restaurant is flying in
I'll go with
to the
you.
area, and he's gonna like try and settle things. But they're saying that guy's got to go, or they're not going back to work. Like, that manager's got to be replaced. And dude, you could tell. Like, I had a very short interaction with him. You could tell he's the jack. Like, just an a-hole who uses his power to bully people. What kind of owner gifted them money out of the kindness of own heart in exchange for their labor? Yeah, that's what he said, dude. He's like, they're calling him out. He's like, you're really going to do this after all the money I gave you? Like, bro, that's called their wages. It's called the money you have to give them in exchange for their labor, which creates your salary, which creates the surplus of the company that's given to you. Silly goose.
Sir Orin,
Sir Orin?
Waka,
Waka?
Lulu,
Lulu?
Kamari,
Kimari?
Riku.
Riku? Penis?
Everyone, we leave at dawn.
I wonder if these guys watch
And-
Titus and Yuna make out there. Waka's
I'm
got to be
sorry for
crushed.
putting you through all this.
It's like, the summoners are not supposed
And
to smash.
Yeah. You need your rest.
yes.
It is frowned upon by the
Good
church.
night.
Riku just in that tree. Sometimes you just got to be in a tree. There's an FF12 remake, but I haven't played FF since 13. Oh, FF15. Sorry, my Roman numerals are bad. What is FF? I meant part 13, not age 13. Lol. Oh, okay. That's why I was confused. Yeah. The FF12 remake's freaking awesome, man. I actually played through it just now. I always had it growing up, but I never got into it. So I've been playing through it on my own time when I have free time, which isn't very often, but when I have free time and I don't feel like streaming, sometimes you just don't want to have your face on camera and you just feel like bleh. So that's when I play some RuneScape and we could also play RuneScape on stream, but I'll play some RuneScape or some FF12, and dude, it is an incredible game. Incredible. All right, let's just explore around here. I meant part 7. Oh, the FF7 remake. Yeah, bro. We should totally play that, bro. I love FF7. I've played through it many times. I'm a huge JRPG fan. I know you asked that earlier as well. Ooh, here we go. Calmlands. This is one of my favorite maps. It's also just kind of open space if I'm thinking of the right map. But yeah, dude, FF7 is one of my favorite games, and the remake looks lit. So it's a little expensive and takes a lot of storage on your computer, and I don't have it yet. So I'm hoping to maybe play through FF12 and FF10-2 first, if we decide to do Final Fantasy X-2. I don't know if we're going to do that one. It's kind of a weird game, but it is the sequel to this game, so I feel like it would make sense to do it. Because we already know these characters and have built, a decent audience for the gaming streams doing this. I mean, a small audience, but whatever. But yeah, I don't know. The world's our oyster, It's just, these are just a way to chill out, have some fun, and talk about Marxism, politics, and whatever else casually. Yeah, the Calmlands are what I thought they were.
Beyond, there are no towns.
This is where I usually level grind. Eddie, are you really going to endorse the Oliver Anthony song that shit's on welfare? Recipients doesn't seem like solidarity to me. Yeah, I mean, that's a common sentiment among the working class, though, among the proletariat, though, that that working people are being taxed heavily, so that other people can milk the system. And obviously, I don't agree with that, and I don't agree that welfare should be cut. But I do agree that the fact that there are, people on welfare who are disenfranchised without a job and don't know, how to find a job and are forced to rely on welfare. I think that's a systemic problem that's part of capitalism, right? And I think it's a systemic problem that's worth being critiqued. Like, we don't want these people to be stuck on welfare living in poverty. And we're going to talk about this tonight when we go over the song, but we don't want people, and people's reaction to the song blew my mind. I heard it on YouTube. I'm like, oh, nice class solidarity song. And I didn't even hear the welfare line first.
I would find a way.
And then all of a sudden I saw everyone on Twitter shitting on it because he talks about taxes.
I wanted to believe that words could make it come true.
And people think taxes are a good thing when, taxes on working class people that go to pay for endless wars are not good. And that should be something we're against. But, I want to make a more systemic analysis of the welfare system. But, 99% of that song is him shitting on the rich people in Washington, D.C. Right? 99% of it. And then he repeats this one kind of conservative-esque talking point that's this talking point that's been associated with conservatives that, 99% of the working class holds. I'm not going to lie. If you go to a John Deere plant right now and you talk to the workers, one of the first things they're going to talk to you about is all their tax dollars that are going to people who don't work on welfare, right? So I'm not saying it's good, but it is a popular sentiment among the working class. Our job then, and this is what Carlos and I are going to do when we talk about this song, is redirect people's anger. Right? You shouldn't be angry at people who are stuck on welfare, right? People who need to use welfare to survive. You should be angry at the system that disenfranchises people, doesn't provide them opportunities. I don't know why I did that. Doesn't provide them a job guarantee, and forces a lot of people to, not even abuse or abuse as much as they can the social safety nets, to the extent that social safety nets even exist in this country, right? And what our tax dollars should be invested in, rather than, say, something like welfare, is a jobs guarantee. Right, infusing jobs into low-income communities where a lot of people are stuck on government assistance because they're not making enough money from their job to get by, or they're unable to find a job that they, enjoy, or that allows them to also take care of their kids and take care of their family. So I see what you're saying, but I also see where he's coming from with putting that lyric in the song. And I think it's a little bit purity fetishistic to dismiss the song completely just because he bashes the welfare system as it exists in America in a song where he's talking about the government taking the taxes, or heavily taxing working people. Now, I wish he would have, I wish he would have replaced that line with, your taxes are going to war, rather than, obese people on welfare, which is what he said. Yeah. But I also don't think the welfare comment is necessarily a reason to dismiss the song completely. And I don't know if I guess he is kind of victim blaming, but the point of analyzing the song tonight is going to be providing that systemic critique, making any of his critiques that seem individualistic critiques of the system. So maybe I'm just coping for that guy because I like the rest of the song, and I think the rest of the song is really good and pro working class. But that's my thoughts on it, and that's the thoughts of most of the working class people I've talked to about it. I played that song at the bar last night. They didn't have it on Touch Tunes, unfortunately, but I showed it to. I guess I didn't play it, but I showed it to my working class friends who were there. Like, oh, I love that guy. His song's so true. Taxes, government, corrupt Washington D.C. politicians. So they were seeing the class consciousness in the song, or the class-based sentiment in the song. They weren't even. They didn't even notice the welfare line. Ever fished? A little bit. I don't, some of my friends are huge fishermen. Like, people love to fish in Iowa, Wisconsin area. Like, people are just a lot of outdoorsmen. A lot of my friends really love it. I've never gotten super into it. I've never been the most patient fella, and fishing takes, a lot of patience for a few seconds of enjoyment. But is that? But yeah, I do like fishing. I have been fishing. I've enjoyed it, every time I've gone. Or I haven't hated it. But it's not like something that I seek out. I'm also just like a really busy person, at this point in my life. I have a lot of hobbies, plus wrestling, plus Midwestern Marks, plus trying to get more involved with organizing in real life, like I was recently with the Sunshine Cafe workers. Solidarity with them against their manager. An owner. So that leaves very little time for extra hobbies, and when I do hobbies, it's usually this. It's usually playing RPGs or reading fiction, or watching silly reality TV shows with my roommate. It's actually something we do a lot. Fun, dude. Love Island, The Bachelor. It's just so ridiculous. Like, how is this a real show? How is there a real show where a woman or a man dates like 20 people at the same time and like makes out with all of them and then picks one at the end, and they usually get divorced after like a week? Like, how is this real, bro? That's just like capitalism selling us monogamy, I guess. Capitalism selling us and commodifying relationships and sexuality. That is what it is, I guess. It's the shows are so absurd. And dude, like some of those shows don't take themselves that seriously, like Love Island and Bachelor in Paradise. But they take The Bachelor and The Bachelorette so damn serious, bro. They're like, I came here to meet my wife. And some of these other guys aren't serious about it, I feel like. And I'm going to tell her that I don't think these other guys are serious about her. I'm like, bruh, you're on a reality TV show where you're chasing after this girl who's dating 20 other dudes. Frickin' relax, bro. It is not that serious. It can't be that serious. My favorite country song is Man in Black by Johnny Cash. One of my favorites, too. Johnny Cash was the man. We've played that video on stream before, and so I'm sure some of you have seen it, but there's a video of, like, Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, the Highwaymen. That's the name of their band, is like an all-star group. Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson. And they're all like bashing the U.S. government and how all our money is going to foreign wars that aren't actually wars for freedom and democracy. And how like America needs to make a drastic, like revolutionary change. It's like, man, this is what country music should be. That's why I feel like at least this Oliver Anthony guy is a more so a return to those roots of country than the pop country nonsense, or even the hyper patriotic, what I call imperialist country, the brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. When Toby Keith is singing about dropping bombs on Iraq, singing a love song about bombing Iraq, like a piece of shit fucking simp for the U.S. empire. Sorry to curse, but it pisses me off. Like, dude, you're a country music singer. This used to be like the most working class art form around. All right, let's get some lore.
As you know, these plains were once a battlefield.
Makes sense. Hopefully the stream pulls in people who love the song and teaches them something. For sure. That's the goal. That's the goal, Potato.
Left this place a barren, lifeless land. Then
still got some Reagan Republican elements. Yeah,
the uninhabited land.
The welfare queens idea
with no harm to the common folk.
Is kind of like that, but I don't know. I still, like I was saying earlier,
as it were,
I see it more so as a critique of the welfare system that sucks money out of working people and gives it to disenfranchised people rather than giving those people jobs, health care, opportunities that would drastically improve their lives and improve their day-to-day life. They just give them welfare checks. Here's barely enough to survive. We're not going to invest in jobs. We're not going to invest in education for you. We're not going to invest in anything productive. We'll just give you, the bare minimum to survive, and we'll take it out of working people's paychecks so that working people and impoverished people, have a reason to fight. And that's a system worthy of being critiqued. Better than the alternative, right? It's way better than brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue or whatever, That's how I see it anyways. I don't hold it against anyone who disagrees, I guess. I've seen some really, really, really dumb takes about it. Like I saw Matt Christman of Chapo Trap House saying the song is soy. Like this is soy country. Like, bro, all of my big jacked wrestling friends who would eat you for breakfast enjoy the song. And like, you're literally a podcaster who looks, no offense, do whatever you want, but you like the most unathletic looking man I maybe have ever seen in my entire life. And you're going to call other people soy for enjoying a country song about the plight of everyday working people? Like, bruh, get out of here. Friggin' ridiculous. Chapo Dumbhouse. More like, am I right? I'll go on Chapo Trap House and debate them about this. Is that still a show? I used to watch them. Is Chapo still doing their thing? Oh, what is this? Am I in Louisiana? Is this like one of those gumbo boats? This looks like one of those boats with the big fans that you see on like one of those TV shows where they're like hunting gators. That's seriously what this looks like. Stock up a little bit here, might as well. You know what these would do. I know Riku can use them. Gotta get Riku in there eventually. Gotta level her up. Yeah, they are still huge. Yeah. Oh, they are. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, his tweet got so many likes. I mean, I get it. Like, they're entertaining to listen to. I certainly don't hate listening to them. My favorite segment that they do is when they read, like, right-wing books or books written by right-wing grifters or people like Dennis Prager and find, like, the weirdest stuff in them and do book reviews. Like, that is good content, but a lot of their stuff is just fake edginess. Like, ooh, we're so edgy. We're the dirtbag left. And okay. I'm gonna start stealing stuff. Mari, cast Blizzara. Does anyone in our audience watch Chapo? Do you guys watch them? I figure like they're not communists, right? They were just like Bernie people. I don't know. Maybe some of them were, but you watch them? Do you like them? What is their ideology? Teach me about them. I haven't watched them since the Bernie campaign, to be honest with you. I didn't even know they existed anymore. I used to like them a lot during the Bernie campaign. I did think a lot of their strategic ideas were good. Like one of my favorite things that one of their people ever said was that you have to offer people something, right? You can't just shit on the current system. You actually have to offer people something new. You have to offer them an alternative. You have to offer them policy that's going to improve, like that they will recognize immediately that would improve my life. You know, something like Medicare for all. Like that would improve so many people's day-to-day life. So that's the kind of policy you have to pitch for them, right? Criticize the current system, yes. But also, explain what the alternative is. You know, if you have no alternative, why would anyone follow you and why would anyone fight for you? That's kind of like what Lenin said. It's kind of the same sentiment as without revolutionary theory, there can be no revolutionary practice. Like, not only do we need a theoretical critique of the system, but we need, a theoretical understanding of what we actually want to bring about, right? We need to lay out our theory of how we think society needs to be changed. So I thought that was really smart, and that's something I've hung on to forever, I guess, ever since. Obviously, I still remember it to this day, and I haven't watched Chapo in how long, so yeah. Generally anti-imperialist, broad strokes, left wing. All right, that seems about right. They kind of rad Libby, but much better than Hassan or the Serfs. Oh, okay, interesting. I mean, the Serfs are terrible, man. I met a Union guy yesterday, a Midwestern Marx fan, Union communist, who got introduced to communism by Hassan. Like, he doesn't watch Hassan anymore much, but that was his introduction. It's like, okay, I can recognize, even though I don't like Hassan necessarily, or like, I guess I don't hate him, but I don't like listening to him. And I think sometimes he says some absurd things, right? I can recognize that he's done a lot of good through his hard work at streaming and pulling people in. pulling people into the left, pushing people towards, Midwestern Marx or a real Marxist-Leninist position. So I've gone a little easier on Hassan. Like, you realize when you're organizing, it's important to have a line, like Midwestern Marx has our line, our theoretical line, what we believe, and what we think the best strategy is. But you realize that people are so complicated, right? Like there's very little ideological coherence among the working class, right? What you really just need to do is not have a purity fetish and accept people for what they are. Like if you came to communism through Hassan, sounds good, man. I'm not gonna hate on it and bash you because I personally don't love Hassan and like watching Hassan, right? I'm just glad that you're here for the working class while I'm also here for the working class. So that's kind of how I've been looking at it lately. That's why the Purity Fetish is such an important book, man. Like it's about socialism, which we achieve through class struggle, right? It's not about who watches what YouTube show and watching all the right shows and having all the right opinions on, certain people. And, if this guy likes someone who I don't like or who I think has said dumb things and I don't like them, I'm not going to work with them. Or, if this guy voted for Biden, that's it. I'll never work with you because Biden's a Democrat. Like, you can have your disagreements with people and still organize with them and get stuff done. The important thing is that you're actually learning theory, reading theory, getting smarter, and getting stuff done, engaging in practice, looks like we got a cutscene here.
Father Zook.
Long time no see. You are Yuna? You certainly don't look like Mr. Kinnock's murderer.
What you say?
Please, tell us what has happened.
Mr. Micah just issued a personal order, It said that you and your guardians murdered Maester Kinnock and fled. We are to kill you on sight, or so it says.
What of Bavel?
Things are calm on the surface, but the depths are turbulent. After the death of Maester Kinnock, Kelk Ronso left Yevon.
Convenient. Getting around will be easier with Yevon in disarray.
But be careful, my friends. You have been branded enemies of Yevon. You should avoid temples for the time being.
Thank you, Father Zook, for your warning.
Father, you came all the way here just to tell us this?
To tell the truth, I was a little curious to see this summoner you are guarding. I hope her pilgrimage goes well. For your sake, too.
Thank you, Father.
I must be off. I shall pray for all of you.
Sorry, texting an organizer right now about organizing stuff. How you holding up, Betty? I've been reading Heineken and Africa recently. Very cool. I've been doing good, holding up good. Life hard, life busy, but life good. You don't need to listen to Hassan when you're to the left of him. He's doing his work by pushing people to the left, and eventually they end up further left, or at least more than a Dem side. Agreed. Agreed. All right, sorry. I texted my buddy about labor organizing. I'm reading history and other books about unequal exchange pertaining to Africa. Cool, yeah. I'm going to get into that soon in the unequal exchange and the
What is
falling rate of profit, because I'm going to be reading
Micah
Capital
and
Volume
Seymour
3,
are
so
not
I'm
of one
excited.
mind. Remember what Seymour said last we met.
Micah and
I do not
Seymour don't
think
like
Micah
each
will
other.
concur.
There's a
Who is
split
that?
in the ruling class.
Until half a year ago,
It's kind of a short pilgrimage.
he gave up halfway. Now he is a monk at the Bavel Temple.
I like watching Hassan and
So,
similar streamers.
we-
I just don't care that much about the stuff he talks
okay.
about, you
I'm
know?
not worried.
Like, it's a lot of, and I, nothing against you if you do, of course. Like, go, you watch him if you like him, but
Maybe just a little.
I just don't care that much about like
It's so hard
the
not to
culture
be.
war stuff
Hey,
and
it's
drama
okay to worry,
stuff.
and if it
Like,
gets
dude,
too
watching
rough,
a Vouch
just
video
yell.
sounds insufferable to me at this
Yeah.
point. And Hassan's better than Vouch, but
Okay. I might just do that.
you know, not all of his stuff focuses on class struggle. Also, I think I named the stream Mount Gagazet, and we're on the Calm Plains. We're definitely not on Mount Gagazet, so sorry for the fake news. Let's play some Blitzball. Big save. Big save.
She's not stopping it,
Yuna,
but I can't just let her go.
we won't have to. We'll save Yuna even if she calls the final Aeon.
But how?
I'll
What if
find
you
a way.
I'm tired of talking to you. It's always but this, but that.
But
Huh.
Let's think together.
Dang, I was here for Gagazet. LOL,
If you
JK.
can't,
I was gonna say, do
We'll
you
find
really
another
like
way.
Kimari and the
Okay.
Ronsos? The blue guys with the horns? There who lives on Mount Gagazet. Ooh, now Riku's upset. Talk to me. We can. Alright, one more person to talk to. You usually don't have much to say. Gagazet.
hey.
Kimari has no family,
Oh, sad.
Sorry.
but Kimari not.
Kimari not alone. That's right. We got your back, my boy. Alright, one more save. Actually, I didn't talk to Waka yet.
When I was guarding Zook, I already told you that. About when I was too into. So, when Father Zook said he wanted out, tell you the truth.
Nice. Get to crack open capital. It's kind of like looking at a massive mountain I don't feel prepared to climb yet. Yeah, take your time. Read other theory. Read smaller books. Read wage, labor, and capital, value, price, and profit. And then get into capital when you feel ready. Like, it's a great book. And honestly, number one isn't that hard to read once you kind of get the hang of it. Once you get used to it and the style and the way that Marx carries out his investigation of the capitalist mode of production, and it becomes quite fun to read. But, you know, it takes a while to get there. You kind of got to get the hang of it. Kind of got to understand what he's talking about. And the first 3 chapters are quite difficult in comparison to the rest of the text. So, you know, take your time, but do read it eventually. It's quite good. And like I said, it's quite fun to read. Like, Capital Volume 1, like Capital Volume 2 is very difficult, as is Volume 3. But Capital 1 gets a bad rap for being like so hard to read when it's really not that bad, or being super boring when it's definitely not that boring. Like, Marx put a lot of time and effort into thinking about the method of presentation of capital. So not just how to like carry out his analysis of capitalism, but how to explain it to readers, how to teach it to people. Like, the Grundriss is like Marx's notes, where he's just, you know, figuring out how am I going to carry out this investigation of capitalism. But he's also talking, you know, how do I present this argument? How do I explain this argument to people? How do I order, you know, the investigation or the process of investigating capital, so that people can best understand it and get the most out of it. So Volume 1 then ends up being quite fun to read because there's been so much effort put into, you know, thinking about people reading it. Kill this guy. I got Carlos's book on the purity fetish. It was a very good read. I also got myself the curriculum of the basic principles of Marxism Leninism from Luna Oi. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad you liked the purity fetish. I thought it was quite easy to read and quite good. I learned recently there might be a couple grammar mistakes in it, but none that were bad enough that my dumbass noticed. But someone who's like edits books told me there were some issues. So I'm like, whoops. Whoops. Sorry, Carlos. Didn't spot those while proofreading. Apparently Noah didn't either, or whoever else proofread it. I think most people are not as invested in class struggle and also like drama and reactions to internet memes. I feel his way of doing leftist content is very effective. Just look at his number. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's where I agree. Like Hassan's numbers are insane. And yeah, a lot of people aren't as invested in class struggle. They just want drama and reactions. But you know, the point is to, when you do that stuff, always tie it back to class struggle. Like we did a freaking video about Andrew Tate and Aiden Ross and all these ding dongs the other day. You know, and the idea is that these people are popular, and drama and the stuff that these people do is popular online. So we should talk about it. You know, if that's where the masses are, we got to go to where the masses are, meet them where they're at, and bring them into class struggle. Get them to pay attention to more important things. This is kind of sketchy right now. I'm going to use my overdrive. Is this thing immune to magic, though? Might be. Oh, he's messed up, too. Right, first one we got to heal is Orin. Too strong. I don't want him hitting any of us on accident. Here, Riku, you get a remedy. Uh-oh. Almost dead. Call in Yuna. I love internet drama for the same reason you love Love Island, or you like Love Island. Great pastime. Hell yeah. Dude, I follow some internet drama. I follow like the LA podcaster scene like weirdly close. Like Joe Rogan and all the people around him and their drama. Like, I don't know why. There are just so many videos about them on YouTube and the stupid stuff that they do and say, and they're just such ridiculous people with such huge egos that take themselves so seriously and act like their comedy is like God's gift to the rest of the world. I did a video about that recently with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, but they just get into all this drama. Andrew Schultz, all those guys, and it's so silly. But I can't help but like watch it, like watching a train wreck. You know, I'm like, I know this isn't good. Like, there's anything else I could be doing with my time besides watching these drama videos, but yet here I am. It's such an annoying fight. I should have just ran away from this friggin' thing. Remedy. All right, now Orin's hopefully not going to die. Guess we should do this. Hanging on grammar for me has always been a sign of unnecessary pedantry. As long as what is written is understood, I don't worry about it too much. For sure, yeah. And you see that on the internet all the time where someone will make like a good argument, but they like use the wrong there or something, and someone just like, you know, how can I trust you if you don't even understand grammar? Like, dude, we're all human beings here, buddy. We all make mistakes. Someone's not dumb because they made a grammatical error. Yeah, that stuff is really, I mean, it makes sense. Like, to have professionalism, you want to have as good a grammar as possible. It helps people understand what you're writing, but dang, I didn't even get that much experience from that mofo. That dude was hard. Give me the ability, baby! Sleep Buster. Now I can put people to sleep. What do we got here? Speed. Moving on. I work as an electrician, usually in construction. Let me tell you, it's not something that comes up too often. Grammar? That's true. That makes sense. I don't think the working class cares too much. You know, something tells me. I don't think union electricians are worried about the grammar and the purity fetish. Just some crusty old academics, you know, like Carlos. What if there was a Love Island episode with internet streamers? Would I be obligated to do it to spread Marxism if I got invited? I'd do it. I don't know how my girlfriend would feel about that, but that gets for Marxism. I work as an English teacher. Oh, no. You have to worry about it then. Yes. Blueberry onions. Edit the purity fetish for us. Tell me what's wrong about it. I expect you to send me all grammatical errors. Oh, I forgot about this thing. This is like stuff you do after the game. Or it's like post-game content. You can like go back there or something. Have you ever looked Dead by Daylight already? Have you looked Dead by Daylight? I don't know what that is. It's some kind of Marxist game. You'd be obligated to do Love Island whether you were invited or not. I'm just gonna show up to Love Island. Who the hell is this guy? I'll just have the manifesto with me. I'll be like, listen, kids. It's about time you quit with these silly reality TV shows and trying to be influencers and get serious. Communism is the only way out of the current crises that riddle our system and leave us in this neoliberal hellscape of a system and society. We must come together and overthrow the ruling class. Come with me, Love Island class, or Love Island contestants filled with grifters and people who want to be Instagram influencers for just like posting pictures of their asses and stuff. We will lead the working class to socialism. English isn't my first language. Well, okay. You need to translate it then. I assign you with the job of translating all of our books to whatever your first language is. That's how you can help the revolution and us by doing hours and hours and hours of free labor. You're okay with that, right? I figured that's why you became a socialist, so you could do hours and hours of free labor for me. What are your thoughts on Stalin and Mao?
Based.
Can you hear that? That's the sound recording I made of myself going, based. Fastest increases in life expectancy ever. The first years of the USSR and the first years of communist China. Almost everything we've been told about Stalin and Mao and the Western education system is a lie or a stretch of the truth. They were very, very, very effective leaders, very, very effective organizers and communists, which is why so much garbage was heaped upon them by the bourgeois propagandists, by the capitalist ruling class who hates anybody that challenges their power and challenges their dominance, which Stalin and Mao did a lot of. I often say the more effective you are as an organizer, the more propaganda and lies the bourgeoisie is going to pile on you. You know, and why wouldn't they? Makes sense. It's in their class interests to say that anybody who led a working class revolution or a worker state against the U.S. empire is an evil demon person. Like, it makes sense for the bourgeoisie to try and convince everyone of that. But it's our job to not fall for it and find the actual truth. Criticize these people where they deserve to be criticized, but not criticize them over blatant lies or parrot the lies of the bourgeoisie. Are you anti-Trotsky? Yeah, I'm not a huge Trotsky fan. There are Trotskyites in our audience who we're friends with Trotskyites. Like, you know, Trotsky and Stalin have been dead for a very long time, right? So if someone wants to organize something good and they like Trotsky, I don't really care. Or if they want to, you know, work together on some kind of project that I find valuable, I don't really care. But yeah, historically, I don't really like Trotsky. He was a traitor, bashing the Soviet Union when they were in the middle of fighting Germany, fighting the Yazidis.
Summons from Lord Seymour. Come with us.
A lot of his theory is just quite ridiculous.
We have nothing to discuss.
Very
with
few
Maester
kernels
Seymour.
of truth in there. So, but
Yeah, so out of our way.
reading history more made me more leaning towards
Seymour's
communism.
commands
Hell yeah,
must
me
be
too.
obeyed. You
Yeah,
will
reading
come.
history, not listening to history
will.
from bourgeois
The
sources.
Maester doesn't need you alive.
Reading history tends to do that. The Cornel West campaign is a great case study in watching the ruling class propaganda as the public in real time. Yeah, that's why I wanted people to get involved with it too, because like that's what the Bernie campaign did for a lot of people. They saw the way that the corporate media, the party elites in the DNC, and the entire ruling class immediately just started lying about Bernie, smearing him, saying all this BS that wasn't true, just doing everything they could, calling him a sexist. Just this like ridiculous shit. It became very obvious to so many people during the campaign that the DNC is corrupt, the ruling class is corrupt, they're liars, and they'll propagandize anybody, or they'll spread propaganda about anybody who goes against their interests. And like you can hear that, you can know that, you can understand that's the case, but when you see it in real time, like the way people are now seeing it with Cornel West in real time, it makes a huge difference, right? When you watch it happen, when you know this candidate is not a bad person or evil, or that they are just fighting for common sense things like what Cornel West is doing, and then the media portrays them as the devil. It's like, oh, the media lies even more than I thought. The media is just as our media is just as propagandistic as they tell us that North Korea's media is or whatever. It becomes very obvious. It becomes impossible to deny. So that's why I think getting involved with the campaign is a good idea, right? It'll open a lot of people's eyes. Engaging in that kind of praxis helps people better understand theory, helps people better understand like base and superstructure theory, the idea that the media is, an arm of the ruling capitalist class, an arm of the ruling economic class, the bourgeoisie. We understand that theoretically, but then you see a candidate who challenges the bourgeoisie or who tries to do Medicare for all or something like that, and the media just coalesces on them and crushes them. It's like, oh, this is how it works. You get to see it in real time. All right, let's nail this. V, X, Z, C, right, C. Got it. Let's go. Boom. 6,000 damage. Daddy's home. Get up, Yuna. Boom. Oh, that hurt. High potion. That potion's high. All right, let's do a summon. Do we need Friedrich Engels? Why did I forget the name Shiva? I'm so dumb. I forgot to give Shiva a communist name. Whatever. Help us, Friedrich Engels. The Washington Post kept posting so many anti-Bernie options during the 2020 primary. It was laughable. Yeah, exactly. People get to see it in real time then. Thoughts on libertarian communism and anarchy? They're silly ideas. Anarchism is for children. Read On Authority by Engels. Libertarian communism isn't a real thing. Libertarian communism or libertarian socialism is just people who want to be socialists, but they buy all the propaganda about existing socialist countries from the ruling class. So they're like, yes, the Chinese and the Russians and the Cubans, they don't know how to do socialism. They did socialism wrong. They did authoritarian socialism. But us, the white Americans, led by Vaush, will do real socialism. And even though socialism's failed every single time, we're going to make socialism work by protecting the freedom of speech of Nazis or something. It's just really arrogant, you know, to be like, because one, socialism hasn't failed every time it's tried, right? You have to see through the lies of the ruling class if you want to be a socialist. But two, you know, to assume, to actually believe that socialism has failed every time it's tried, but that you are the smart one, you are smarter than these millions of Chinese people, millions of Russians, millions of Cubans, and you're going to do socialism the right way when they couldn't. Like, that's just so arrogant. That's what people like Vaush do. And that's just a product of the Red Scare. You feel me? Like, we've been so propagandized to think existing socialist countries are evil and bad and have always failed. But then people look around at our current capitalist system and they see that this system is failing. Right? So that pushes them towards socialism. Wow, we got to, you know, our system's not working. We got to do something about it. But in the back of their head, they're like, but, you know, socialism can't work either. I mean, yeah, socialism or socialist systems in the past haven't worked either. So I'll be a new thing. I'll be a libertarian socialist. It's like, no, socialism has worked in the past. You should just be a socialist. The ruling class is lying to you about the effectiveness of socialism. But that's what years and years and years and years of anti-communist propaganda will do to a country. It's really not that surprising if you look at it that way. You know, everybody's been told that the Soviet Union's evil, but our system's so bad that people are turning to socialism anyways. And it takes you a while to, you know, get through all the propaganda, but a lot of people just start out calling themselves a libertarian socialist so they don't have to associate with the Soviet Union and, you know, the people who have struggled for socialism in the past, our forefathers or whatever, the people who came before us. As if we're just smarter and wiser than them and we don't need to learn from them. As if they didn't radically decrease illiteracy and poverty and malnutrition and all these negative things in their countries, which they did, obviously. Antonio Gramsci, Italian Marxist Antonio Gramsci, I summon you. Oh, 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 oh. Gramsci, hit him with Gramsci's hammer. I think Vaush would tell you it's okay with censoring and punching Nazis. It's just that his definition of a Nazi includes anyone who's an actual socialist. Right? Anyone who's an actual communist and actually supports revolutionary movements around the world, like the EFF right now, that's the people Vaush calls Nazis. Right? So he's a libertarian socialist, and then anyone who's not, anyone who's an actual socialist, he calls a Yahtzee. Like, bruh, you are literally the most ridiculous human being I've ever interacted with. You have got to be a Fed or something. Like, on God, what is wrong with that dude? Like, on my mama. Jesus Christ, Gramsci is majestic, right? So majestic, bro. All right, let's hit him with the overdrive here. I wonder if this will work. I'm scared to try this because if it doesn't work, I'll be pissed. We'll do Blazara. What is Lulu's thing again? Oh, yeah. Come on. That wasn't even that good. Oh, well, that did a lot of damage. And we'd learned a new overdrive skill. All right, we're chipping away at this guy. Vaush the one to look at the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact and thought the Soviets were allied with the Nazis. Yeah, true. That is such a good example of, like, bourgeois history. How bourgeois historians remove the context of events and just look at a certain event in isolation to lie about it, right? They totally ignore what preceded the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, where the Soviets were trying to get the Western countries to intervene in Germany and do something about Hitler, but the Western countries didn't want to because they had too many business dealings. So Stalin signed a peace deal while the Soviet Union built up their military forces to fight Germany. Right? They removed that context, that piece of history that preceded the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and they removed the piece of history that came after it. They completely ignore the fact that 80% of German casualties were the Soviet Union, and that more Soviets died fighting Germany than any other country by far. So they completely ignore history and then just show the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact and say, look, the Soviets allied with Hitler before they fought Hitler in the most deadly war in human history and gave up millions of their own citizens to defeat him. Just like, an ally would. Clearly, they loved Hitler because look at this picture of Stalin shaking hands with some guy from Germany. Like, it is truly absurd. This will heal health, right? It better. Okay, good. Stalin, get up. Didn't know you spoke to Voosh, LMAO. Gonna watch that shit. Enjoy. I don't know how anybody could, but it's got a lot of views, so. Ben Shapiro be like. There's a few countries who didn't sign a peace treaty with the Yazidis. There are few countries. Yeah, right. They were trying to stave off another world war. They just got done with World War I. They didn't want to go into another one. And there's this madman Hitler who the UK and the US didn't want to do anything about, even though Stalin was like, yo, let's do something about this guy, please. So they did what they could. They tried to stave off the war as long as possible.
Down into the valley.
Wow, you know your way around, yeah? Huh?
Where are we supposed to go here? I'm just going to save because I've got to head out, actually. This has been a fantastic stream. Thank you for everyone who has been here. I'm from British land. Oh, nice. British. Thank you all so much for being here. This was a fun stream. We're 14 hours into the game somehow. 14 hours, 45 minutes. We're getting quite close to the end. Let me see here. Next time, we will go to Mount Gagazet. Like I promised we were going to do this time and then didn't. Then we got Xanarkand, and then we're fighting Sin. So we've got like maybe 3-4 more episodes left of story content. And then maybe we'll do a couple like of the extra bosses or some of the post-game content. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for answering my questions. For sure, yeah. Tell your friends. Stop by the gaming stream again. That's what the gaming stream's all about. You guys asking questions, getting access to me, without 800 million people in the chat. So please come back, subscribe or follow the Twitch or whatever you need to do. Yeah, appreciate y'all. You go on for hours about what the Allies did compared to the Soviets. Same, black shirts and reds, baby. Read it. All right. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.